Hi, this is James Zane with Old Capital, and today I'm here with Jonathan Ochstein with Marcus and Millichap. Jonathan, how's it going?
Good, good, James. Appreciate you having me on here. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, let's get it going here, and maybe give people a little bit of your background and a little bit about the group that you're with.
Okay, cool. So I'm on the Fluellen Hoover team. Been here for about a year now. We're a team of 13 agents that cover all over Texas, secondary and tertiary markets as well, and surrounding states. Any size unit. Today we're working with a 10-unit property, so that's what I specialize in, 75 units and under.
All right, so let's get going. Nice looking deal here. So maybe let's start with sort of where the deal's located and get into some of the advantages of that location.
Okay, yeah. So one of the first things that I was taught in real estate is location, location, location. And Edge at Rockbrook happens to be in a phenomenal location in Lewisville. You're right off of I-35 and Sam Rayburn. Direct access anywhere throughout DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth, Denton. 20 minutes away from my office here. I really just think it's a phenomenal location.
Yeah, let's zoom in a little bit here. I did an aerial of sort of where the property sits, and then maybe talk about some of the surrounding stuff right there.
Okay, great. So it's actually surrounded by tons of multifamily out there, a lot larger multifamily, which makes this a nice 10-unit kind of private pocket that I happen to really love, especially tenant base. You have, Dallas Fort Worth International Airport, 10 minutes away. Surrounded by tons of industrial out there. You have every major lifestyle amenity within 3-minute drive. And like I said, you're right off of I-35 and Sam Rayburn, so direct access really anywhere in DFW, which makes it a great location
So
for young professionals.
yeah, you talked about location, location, location. My dad, when he told me to buy a house, he said, just buy it at the intersection of two freeways, one that goes north-south and one that goes east-west. So you're exactly like right in sort of the northwest corner of two major highways. And then my second rule that I'm slowly starting to come up with is if there's a Costco there, just buy it.
Exactly.
So Costco does all their research and they're smart guys. So there's a Costco probably less than a mile from this guy. So that's the second rule. So
Exactly.
let's get into maybe talk about the sort of exterior and sort of amenities that the units have, because I think it's pretty unique.
So it's 10 units like we talked about, 2008 construction, so very new Class A property. The interiors, our average square footage is 2,300 square feet. So large units, young professionals that live there, young family professionals. The interiors are all granite. Some have hardwood flooring throughout the units. Some have tile throughout the units. And of course, the big thing here is 2-car garages with direct access into the unit. And that's what I really love about it. It's almost like a townhome style apartment complex.
Yeah, no, that's we walked one of the units, and yeah, very similar to this finish out sort of on the. I'll actually flip to this page real quick on the right hand side. Maybe talk about when you walk into the unit, sort of what you have, and then sort of floor by floor there on the right hand side. Yeah.
Great. So you walk into the unit. To the left of you is going to be your direct access to the garage. And certain units have storage directly under the stairs, and it's a large storage. It actually goes all the way to the end of the unit. On the first floor, you're going to have your office building or your office space. And then you head up the stairs, gorgeous stairwell into a massive living area. It has your kitchen, has your living room, and it's going to have a half bathroom on there as well. And the finish in the living room is hardwood flooring or tile. You're going to have granite countertops, undermounted sinks, and like I said, the half bathroom there, as well as a balcony. And then once you go up to your third level, that's where you have your washer and dryer connections, your 2-bed, 2 full bath, and the primary bathroom is a phenomenal bathroom. It's a great size. The rooms are a great size. And depending on the unit, you'll either have carpet or hardwood vinyl on there.
Okay, so let's flip back. So we touched on sort of the interior finish out. Maybe touch on some of these other items of why you think this is a good deal for people to be looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. So like we were saying, Class A construction, 2008. There's no deferred maintenance. There's no renovations that really need to be done. Where you're going to see your upside is really in the rents there that you'll be able to increase. 2,300 square foot. Like I said, if you see to your right, the top paragraph, you really can individually deed these properties. That's definitely a strategy going in to individually deed and individually rent or sell off, but really it's just an outstanding property, strong demographic in Lewisville, lowest tax rate in Tarrant County. And just overall, you have young professionals, young families living in the area, and it's a great private work environment. Given what's COVID has done, a lot of people are working from home now, and you have a private office in each one of the units.
All right. So let's flip over. So we talked about sort of some of the pictures on the right-hand side. Any other items here sort of on the overview, so that we got washer and dryer connections in all the units you mentioned, and then everyone gets 2 garage spaces that are connected to the unit. Anything else sort of on the property overview that you wanted to touch on?
Well, I'll touch on the location a little bit more. Lewisville definitely has award-winning ISD, independent school district schools that surround, the property. And that's where we see these young professionals wanting to get out of the kind of apartment style units and get more into a townhome style unit where they have a lot more space to move around, to raise a family. And then of course, like we mentioned, 2-car garage and washer and dryer connections is just an added perk to kind of going out of the apartment style unit and kind of living in a much larger space. And that's what Edge really provides.
All right. Talk about, so we have on here, so the current owners out of state, and they have a management company working on the property now. How are most people looking at sort of management, because it is 10 units?
Right. So I've worked with a lot of individual investors that have been seriously interested in this property, and for the most part, they've been local enough to want to self-manage the property, and there's definitely the availability to do so, given that it's 10 units. But obviously, the current ownership has in place third-party management and would be more than happy to set that up as well.
Okay. All right. So we talked about sort of unit mix and pro forma rents. So let's jump into a little bit more detail on sort of how many 2 beds, how many 3 beds here on the unit mix, and then where you think you can take rents.
Okay, of course. So like it says, 8 2-bed, 2.5 bath. There's actually 2 full bath, and 2 half bath in each unit of the 2 bedrooms. And right now rents are well below $1 per square foot. There are 2,300 square feet on average, but definitely room to naturally just increase the rents, given what the market has done over there, and just given the luxury of having such a large apartment unit.
Okay. Is there any, in terms of layout, do you know on the 3 beds, are those sitting in specific spots on the property, or is it just where they could fit them in? Because it looks like, is the square footage about the same on all the units?
The 3 beds, I believe, run 100, 200 square feet larger,
Okay.
depending on where they could fit them in with the property.
Okay. All right. All right. Do you know if those downstairs units have windows?
The
office?
downstairs, the office do not have windows. That's why they can't be classified as a bedroom. And,
Okay.
and almost every tenant uses them as a private office. There's a half bath attached to it as well.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's jump into the numbers here on sort of how the property is currently running, and then where you think you can take it.
Okay, absolutely. So one item that sticks out to me directly there at the bottom, real estate taxes. So the current tax assessment is actually being litigated the end of this week, and we'll know for sure that we can assume that the assessment will go down significantly. We actually assessed it, around $500,000 lower. And that's where we get our tax decrease, which we really haven't seen in DFW. But the majority of our real estate taxes will increase, but here we see a 16% decrease, and that will really be able to jump up your NOI and cut expenses.
Okay. All right. So we looked at it. Oh, sorry. Did you give the whisper price on this deal yet?
No, the whisper is 2.7 to 2.8 million.
Okay, so 2.7, 2.8. Okay. So we looked at it three different ways on the debt side. Number one, we looked at just sort of a standard recourse bank loan. So, 75% of your purchase price, 75% of rehab. If you did have anything on maybe the exterior, interior, you could finance some of the rehab. And so you'd be looking at about 2.1, 2.2 million on the recourse bank loan, 5-year term, 1-year IO, and then probably go 25-year AM thereafter. And we're seeing those rates about 4 to 425, and you would have, a step down prepay from there. Or if you wanted a non-recourse option, we've had this sized up on sort of Freddie Mac small balance loan, and they're going to give an initial fund of close to 1.9. Depending on, you could do a 5-year, you could do a 7-year, and then if you wanted to do a little bit longer term, you could even do a 10-year. Your interest rate might be a little bit higher, but you might get more interest only, and that's with a step down prepay. Freddie Mac small balance right now still has their COVID reserve, but I'm thinking that's going to go away pretty soon. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac conventional, so over 7.5 million, they've already reduced that or taken it away. So I see that going away soon, but for right now, when we're recording this, it still is in place. So just take that in consideration when you're looking at these two loans. Right now, we're seeing recourse bank loans close about 30 to 45 days, and then Freddie Mac SBL is probably closer to 45 to 60 days on closing. So just build that in to your closing timeline when you make your offer. So Jonathan, have you guys set a call for offers date on this deal?
We have. It will be Tuesday, August 3rd.
Okay, so August 3rd. Make sure you get your offers in, get your tours. How are you guys doing tours? Because it is, what's the occupancy now?
100%.
100%. So definitely set up your tour in advance with Jonathan so they can get out there. Any final sort of wrap up comments on this deal?
I'm sure, as you can tell, I'm very excited about this property. I think it's going to be a great fit for whoever is awarded the deal, and I'm excited. I'm typically running tours Tuesday or Thursday of every week, so feel free to reach out, and we'd love to get you out there to the property.
All right. Thanks a lot for coming on, Jonathan.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.